Going live. I am live. Hey, if you are finding the recording of this, you should know that you should go to denverguitarorchestra.com, which is what I am doing at this very moment. I am going to scroll down to the place where we post our link to this video, and I'm going to highlight, delete, Command V, Shift, click, 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 update, wait patiently, hit view page, and scroll down and click again to make sure it opens up where I think it's going to open up, which it does. We're ready to rock now. We'll have a few people wandering in here in just a minute or two to wrap up our week. It's Friday. It's 2:31. Class starts at 2:30, so I'm 1 minute late, which means people are out in the sticks are saying, "Where the heck is he?" I don't know where I was. Not paying attention to the time is where I was. We're gonna play 4 songs today. No instruction on Friday, theoretically, right? Mostly me talking to myself about what I'm supposed to remember playing these songs. And we just play the 4 songs of the week, and then we start our weekend, hopefully with a something over ice. And I'm playing my $50 Harmony guitar from that somebody gave to me, probably from the 40s. It's got really, really fine plywood on the top. It's almost It's not unplayable. It's not unplayable. It's a pretty playable guitar, and it sounds okay for what it is. Evelyn and Vicar here, and then mystery person number 3 is you guys have the widget over here probably. I think it's mirror image of mine, so I think your widget is there. It tells you how many people are tuning in. The thing I like about these guitar daily guitar things is people come and go and come and go and come and go. They sneak in. They're like, "Ooh, a guitar thing. Oh, that's going to be work. See ya." So yeah, it's. We, on the other hand, are ready for the work. We put in the work this week. We are ready to play some guitar. We're going to play them in order on the website. Going to knock out Farmer in the Dell finally for a while. Skip to Malou finally for a while. Streets of Laredo, sadly, we're going to wrap that up today. And then YMCA, we're going to make sure that things are going well for everybody on that. Then we're going to take a couple of days off. We're going to just take a couple of days, just play whatever we want to play. And hopefully, as you are thinking about guitar, we don't always have to play other people's music. You can make your own music. I can make my own music any day I want. I just take a D chord and I add a G chord and I wrap it up with an A7. You can sing about all of your thoughts and opinions and feelings about 2020. Oh, Nancy's here. That's who's sneaking around up there is number 3. Hey, Nancy. So we got the crew here. Okay, this is our foundation. These 3 we're hopefully gonna build it into 9 and then 10,000, right? No, I'm perfectly fine with 3, really. We are. What was I talking about? Oh, writing songs. Yeah, you can write a song. Write a song. All right. So grab Farmer in the Dell. Let's play that. Book 1. Remember, for Farmer in the Dell, level 1, your goal is, hey, Nancy, me. Nice. Love it, Nancy. Farmer in the Dell, level 1, 2 things you're trying to make sure you're comfy with. I'm comfy with the A chord, and I'm comfy with picking out the melody. That's all that I need for you out of level 1. Need you to know how to hold the guitar. Need you to know how to tune the guitar. That's level 1. Let's play Farmer in the Dell. I'm going to play it tough axe with my thumb the first time, and then I'm going to play it just the melody the second time, and then the third time through, I'm going to pluck the tough axe. Okay? So So I'm going to play it 3 times through. I want you to play it in any manners that you think that you're ready to play it, right? So if you are working on your A chord and you just want to strum along with me and see how my timing is, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. You can do that. If you are working on playing melody, play the melody while I play whatever it is that I'm playing. And then, of course, if you are working on that next level, getting ready to dive into tough acts on a serious basis, I think all of the songs in the program work as thumb down or as plucking. Okay, so thumb down tends to be a tiny bit easier. Plucking tends to be that skill set that we want to play, that we want to be able to play like in the future. So you pick your poison. We got 3 times to get it right. Let's see how we do. 1, 2. It's in 6. When it's in 6, we count in 2 and then we go. Okay. 1, 2. And then, of course, always leave your chord on until the guitar shuts up, or you gently shut it up by dragging your hand up over the saddle and onto the strings. Okay, we don't want to whack down. We just want to drag it up, make it stop on its, make us stop if it's still ringing. Right. Biggest thing is we don't want to pull off that chord until the guitar shuts up. Beautiful, right? And a farmer in the Dell. Weep, weep, weep. Next week, if you, those of you guys level 1 looking to get a little advance on row, row, row your boat, the big thing with row, row, row your boat is you are going to be leaping up here to the tens, two. I'm on 9, two tens, and an 11. Okay, so that's gonna be the challenging move. You get to be like Slash from Guns N' Roses. You get to play up here on these high frets, and now flat Slash, goodness sakes, has his guitar cut out here and has about 12 more frets along here that he gets access to. If you are playing a standard guitar or a classical guitar, you have your round bout here. It gets pretty tight to reach up in there, and so it's one of those skills that's worth knowing because you will be playing up here. But row, row, row your boat. It's mostly hanging around with this D chord down here, but then we do jump it up and play this D chord up here on 10. And we're not going to play the full D chord. We're just going to put a little bar on the 2 10s and a middle finger up here on 11. Okay, so that's also a D chord all the way up there. And so that's your preview for Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Row, Row Your Row, blah, 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 is a super fun song, by the way. All right, let's go on. Moving on. What's the next song we're working on today? We are working on Skip to Maloo, right? And Skip to Maloo we hate because it's not in a convenient key. And I put it in this key on purpose so that we could get an early, what's the phrase I'm looking for? You can get an early warning that guitar isn't always going to be a barrel of monkeys, right? You are going to be making this chord. It's a bar here and the E shape in front of it. Okay, and when you start, it sounds like this. Okay, that's what it's going to sound like. Okay, as long as you know what you're doing, as long as you know you've got your middle finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, ring finger on the 5th fret, 5th string, 3rd fret, and your pinky finger on the 4th string, 3rd fret. I hope I said all those right. That's an E chord, right? E chord, but we'd slide it up one, and then we're going to add this bar on one. Okay, and in the beginning, for sure, it's going to sound terrible. Okay, that's how you make F chord until one day it comes out. Okay, that's not tomorrow. Okay, if you're fighting it, it's not tomorrow. Okay, this is something we work on. This is why Skip to Malou is here, is to give you a chance to work on it. I'd like to play through just with chords. Okay, so first time, bar that way, and then you got to get to C chord. Pull your bar off, put your index finger where the C chord is, middle finger up, and pinky down. Okay. Try not to hit the sixth string, but it's okay if you do. And then to get back, bar up, middle finger down, pinky finger up. Okay. Let's play it, just that part of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fly in the buttermilk, shoot, fly, shoot, 2, 3, 4. Fly in the buttermilk, shoot, fly, shoot, 2, fly in the buttermilk, shoot, fly, shoot, 2, 3, 4. Skip to my loo, my darling. Okay, again, not a great song, but a great, 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 great technique builder, because this is coming up in your life. That F chord will be a part of what you get to do in guitar. Much easier to do this on an electric guitar. And so if you decide that you want to play thrash metal, you still have to know how to do this chord. Okay. And if you want to play Peter, Paul, and Mary, you still have to make this chord. Okay. So the electric guitar, it's easier. Acoustic guitar, very challenging. Very challenging on electric guitar too, by the way. So just know this chord's going to beat you up no matter what you do. So just make sure that you're not getting too much of an attitude about it, right? If it sounds, and you can honestly play a song like that. Fly in the buttermilk, shoot, fly, shoot. Fly in the buttermilk, shoot, fly, shoot. Fly in the buttermilk, shoot, fly, shoot. Skip to Malou, my darling. Okay, so you can play it terrible. You can. It's okay. And until the day when finally it comes out of your guitar. Okay, but just know how to make the thing, and then be working on building the hand string to do that. Posture is everything on something like that. If your guitar, like, oh, you notice mine was gotten up on my leg and starting to go over and starting to drop down, it's going to make it harder for me to play that. If I've got my guitar in normal position, that chord is going to be easier to get on, and it's going to be easier to get a better sound out of it, even though it's never going to be easy. Okay. All right, so there's the chord. Just make sure you're not too mad about it. Let's play the guitar melody line. There's your first note. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play it again. Toss on a chord on the end just for fun. Okay. Now, the key with that, first position, 1, 2, 3. Didn't have to use my four fourth finger at all. Make sure you've talked yourself into when you see a 4, your pinky's using it. That's one of the things I don't talk about often enough, but it is important. When you're in first position, 4s really are using your pinky. Okay, luckily we don't have any in this one. All right, let's play the tough uke if you're ready for that. From the top, twice through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank goodness we're doing it again. From the top. The ending of that is tough, right? Measure 13 and 14 don't they don't really want to cooperate in this particular chord arrangement. Do know there are easier chord arrangements you could do. There are absolutely easier ways to play this, but that's not the point of the song. The point of the song is to get you F chord and C chord and get you realizing that, hey, I got to start working on my bar chords. That's the entire point of the song, okay, and that particular arrangement. Please know I'm not pushing that off as one of the great songs in your books because it's not. All right, it's a great song for F and C7. That's about it. Let's go on to book 3, Streets of Laredo. We're going to wrap that up today. It has how many verses? 10? 8 verses is way too many. Okay, let's do it 3 times through. I would say whatever is making you happy on this song, do that. I think just that beautiful A chord, E chord, D chord arrangement. It's absolutely fabulous on guitar, and it's absolutely why cowboy music exists, is those 3 chords and these 3 open strings. It's amazing the kind of music you can get out of this with just something very simple, very clean, very pretty. And so, as we talked about earlier this week, using your thumb to get those open strings is really, really an effective and fun thing you can do with guitar. So that it's not necessarily a walking bass. I've been calling it a walking bass line all week. It's probably not exactly the right terminology. The open string bass is really good. A walking bass is more like when you're walking down a particular note, or that would be more considered a walking bass, and also up. You'll hear that in a lot of folk music. It's really another kind of fun thing to do. A little bit in classical music too, but it's usually guitar classical music and not necessarily other types of classical music. Because that's not that fun to do on a piano. Plunk, 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 plunk. You know, it's just not. It's not the same thing. On guitar, it sounds kind of cool. But this is really more of an open bass, right? So you're going to play sometimes mostly the A string open, sometimes the E string open, and sometimes the D string open, and that's really what we've been working on. So just to be perfectly clear, all right, I want to play it through 3 times. I'm going to I don't know how I'm going to play it each time. I want you to pick your best way, and then maybe a not so best way, right? So don't worry about sounding terrible. Just see what you can come up with. Okay, from the top, 3 times through. It's in six. I'll count one, two, and then we'll go. Okay, 1, 2. To the top. Last time. I made the same mistake every single pass through. Isn't that amazing? Isn't it? So the good news about that, when you screw up in the exact same spot every single time you play it, you know exactly where to put focus your practice, right? Um, Mine was getting my twos on these strings mixed up, and I don't know where my head was. So, but I did it very consistently, and I always level when I've been playing a song for a while. I've been playing, and I start making the same mistake in the same spot. That means I know exactly where to go to work on whatever I'm working on. Very easy to be one of these people, which I was forever as a piano player. Play to the top to the bottom, then go back, play top to the bottom, and then turn the page and go on to the next song, right? So I played every song twice, played it badly 2 times in a row. Sometimes I made the same mistake, sometimes I made a completely different mistake, all over the place. Never being very efficient or very smart with my practice. When I'm practicing this song, what I'm really doing is I'm working on getting that bass line, and I'm working on getting my head clear. Is it this string or this string or this string? And so there's a lot going on over here in addition to just making sure you're fretted correctly. And so a lot of other pieces and parts going together, which I was doing fine on, except for 2 measures where I very consistently got my twos on the wrong string. And so now I know, hey, I know exactly where I'm going to go practice that song and make that really nice. It's a beautiful song. It's probably worth putting a little bit of time. Plus, the technique is what's really matters here. Using that thumb to play these 3 open strings every single song in the key of A, every single one, no matter what level of guitar you're playing, every single one is going to have in the key of A is going to have a D in it, and it's going to have an E in it, and every single time those chords come up, you know that you can back up that chord by playing an open string on here, and you will see it in all kinds of guitar music, where these three, where all stuff, all hell's breaking loose on these bottom three strings, and but the top strings are just wide open, and the guitarist is plucking those. So just know it's a really nice key for a guitar. I would put a ton of stuff when I'm arranging into the key of A, because I know that one, I like that chord. Two, I like that chord. Three, I like that chord. And I love the fact that those three open strings are available to me to sort of decorate the music and anchor it and have some nice things going on in there. So there we go. That's beautiful, right? Okay. Enough for Streets of Laredo. Sad thing about that is that it's actually a time honored classic from Ireland. It became an American song, and we're done with it. And it'll be 20 weeks or something before it comes back. Uh, uh, work on that one a little. 30 weeks now. I think I put up to 30 songs. How many songs have I got in level two? Let's go look. I think there's, or level three, sorry. I think I moved 30 songs into level three. I'm getting ready to post a revised second edition of book three, and yeah, it's got 30 songs in it, right? And that's going to be it's going to be worth working your way through all 30 of those songs. So if you haven't already, go to the website, download all 30 of those songs, get them in your book, and I can tell you, you will do yourself a huge favor as a guitarist long term to just every day warm up with 2 or 3 of those level three songs. Um, I would say of those 30, 25 of them are top notch, right? Malaguena needs a little work. But honestly, for the most part, every single one of those I adore. I think playing them is fun and you'll learn a lot. So if you're level one or level two, obviously get through those books first. That's very important. But if you are a growing guitarist and you're like, yeah, I want to get good, level three is where you should be spending your time, because that's where you solidify and really finish up the strength of your guitar technique. And then when we go on to level four, this stuff, which is who knows what's going to show up in it, you've already got all your tools in place, and so you can deal with this much easier. So little advice for your weekend: get your book three book together. You guys can put it together for free because you come and hang out with me on these broadcasts. The book three I write will be for people who don't want to or can't tune into these YouTube things, and it'll have all the instruction and all that stuff in there as well. So I would say, um, you know, it's even when it's done, it's going to be what, 25, $30 to buy the book, but the sheet music won't change. It is what it is. The only thing different from the book is, um, hopefully all this stuff that comes out of my face, I'll be able to put it into some meaningful and a little bit more succinct fashion in book form. So, book four, YMCA. You guys who were with us last week know that Remember Me was brutal. YMCA, not so much, right? Kind of a lot of fun. I am not a singer, so I'm not going to pretend to sing. The hardest part of this one is your F sharp minor. Okay, make sure that that's coming along for you. Bar, full bar, and then ring and pinky on the fourth fret, strings 5 and 4. Now, this is another bar chord that will come up in your life. Okay, and it's not always on 2. Sometimes it's higher up. Like it's very normal for it to be on 5. Okay, and 7. Those are that shape's coming up. So the way to think about it, you're on E minor, you put it up 1, E's become F's. Okay, put it up 2, it becomes an F sharp minor. That's what we have in this song. F sharp minor is in the key of A, so you go A, B, C, D, E, F minor, but it's a sharp in the key of A. So F sharp minor, okay? And so that's why it's going to show up in A a lot. And so it's not the worst bar chord in the world. It's not exactly easy, but you can always take your middle finger and sort of help smash down on that 1. And then hopefully you're doing this exercise, right? Bump, 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 When you're not on your guitar, you're sitting around, you're having to deal with, you've invited the neighbors over for dinner because you feel like you're supposed to once in a while. Uh, this is your dinner time exercise under the table, right? You just be stretching out these tendons. Nice, hold it for a while. Ow, 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 ow. Let it do its thing. Don't push it, right? We don't want to create a dangerous situation for your fingers. Just let it open. Because on this one, these two guys have to get really far away from this one in order to successfully pull this off. So we really want that tendon nice and stretched. Okay, most of the time we're having to stretch our pinky and finger style. So this is a very important one. Just open it up and let it stretch until it feels like, yeah, I'm good, right? Because look at what happens here. We got this bar on here. We got these two guys way over here. That's exactly the Mr. Spock shape right there. Okay. Okay, and so that's what we're going to do with that F sharp minor. You got a D in this song. You got an E7. Those are not terribly difficult to do. You do have the B minor in this song down at measure 15. Okay, same situation. Bar on 2, A minor shape in front of it. Okay, so you're starting with your A minor shape here, and sliding it up to 2. That's going to come up. Okay, and in this song, on the tough uke part, I actually recommend just playing 3, 4, 4, 5, and because the melody note is right here. Okay, so I'm abandoning the bar completely, and I'm just picking up 3, 4, 4, and 5 there to make it sound, to get the sound I need without having to do quite as much work. Because you theoretically could do this, but then you're running out of fingers for your melody note, which is here. So then you start rethinking the whole thing, and the solution is 3. These two are on 4, and that's on 5. Again, just the A minor shape without the bar, and your pinky on 5. But then you cannot play those two strings, or no. Okay, so that's the B minor that comes up. If you're strumming it, you have a B7 in there. B minor 7. Sorry, let me be clear on that. Here, here, and here. That's a beautiful chord on guitar. I love it. Don't hit the top string. And I think that's all of our chords that we run into in this song. It is. Let's play it. Okay, I want to go through. Let's go through let's just do the first 2 verses. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, sorry. Back to the top. Boy, I messed that up. Back to 10. Whoops. Okay, and then theoretically you're on the second repeat, right? But of course I read into the first repeat again, but I know that I'm also in the second repeat, and so now I get to the end of measure 20, and I'm like, well, do I feel like I should do it again? And I for sure feel like I should do it again because I butchered it up pretty good. So I'm going to go back and to save face, presumably, I'm going to go through and play it a second time through. So I'm going to play verses 3 and 4. Again, you guys are playing whatever part of the song makes sense to you, whatever's going well for you. On Fridays, we don't worry so much about learning new stuff. On Fridays, we really learn on, hey, how can I hack this doggone thing out? I didn't do very well, and so hopefully you're doing better than I am. But let's see how, a couple more times through will do for us. So I'm going to do measures 3 or verses 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the top. Rest. Back to 10. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Okay. A little bit of sing time, not great, right? But we have another couple weeks on this anyway. So that's the big thing is I'm looking for those places where I'm consistently screwing up. Just like in the previous song, hey, what am I doing? Where am I messing up so that I can go through and start making some notes and making some issues to practice on? One of the things I did consistently, measure 4 right in the middle, that 0 that's in the middle of the measure, I'm hitting it 2 every time because I'm holding that bar chord there. So I got to knock that off. The other place I'm getting eaten alive is measures 13 through 16. I just cannot get my hands set up right on the right things. I'm trying to do it as an open chord with my finger on 2 and the other 2 on 4, but I'm failing at it. So I'm going to have to come up with a whole nother structure through there. I've got it listed as index, ring, and middle, and I think that's right. I just need to actually physically do that instead of what I'm doing right now. So I'm circling that and actually following my own direction, right? And then the other thing, issue measure for me, measure 15, getting the A minor shape on with my pinky. I'm late every single time doing that. So when I'm working on this at home, I'm not thinking of those as failures. I'm thinking of those as places where I need to put in more energy and more time so that I can get them cleaned up a little bit. And so I do think, and we had this discussion in the previous class, hey, I'm not competing against anybody else, right? We can have people log into YouTube and then be like, oh, that guy, he's not that great of a player. I can play better than him. Then that's great. Good. Go do whatever you want to do. We also have people who log in and are like, I can't play that stuff. I'm going away, right? But I don't think any of that's a smart decision. I think it's, hey, I want to play this song. I'm going to find those places that I can be successful and find those parts that I'm not being successful on. And then I'm going to work on those areas. And then it's not a competition or with other people. It's also not a competition with yourself. It's that, hey, I can play this part, but I can't play that part, or I can play it in this way, but I can't play it in that way. If you want to play it in the other ways that you can't, then you go work on just that section and don't place value judgment on whether you're a good or poor guitar player. That's not even a helpful thought. It's hey, I am going to be working on guitar the rest of my life. Right now, I can do this, but I can't do that, and I'm going to work on those things I can't do. So. There we go. We'll have another couple weeks on that, and so be mindful that it's worth every day to take a little bit of time, pull it out, play through it once or twice or 10 times, look for those areas that you're struggling on, and really dial in just to those points. When I'm finally getting a piece of sheet music together where it's going to actually be something that I hang on to, my whole brain is associated around. I'm going to do this shape, and then I'm going to do this shape, and then I'm going to do this shape, and then I'm going to do that shape. I'm going to do one shape, 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 shape. And so I'm always thinking about what shapes can I get my hands in that are efficient and fast and predictable and get my hands to do those shapes. I'm way less worried about what the notes actually are or what is coming, you know, I'm not trying to think about, well, this is an A minor and this is an F shape or F minor. And I'm not worried about naming all of the things I'm going on. I'm really thinking about this is the shape I got to hold here. That's got to turn into this shape. I don't really care what the name of this is. I just know that that's what my hands know that they need to do. And so be thinking about that as you're working through these different songs. You know, when you're playing straight line melody, obviously that's not the discussion. It's do I need to be in first position, second position, fifth position, whatever position you need to be in. And that's also a valuable thing to know. And I would actually even make marks on my sheet music. Get into fifth position, put your index on this note or whatever. But when you're playing tough act, you really do think in terms of shape. Okay, next week we have Row, Row, Row Your Boat. It is a blast. It's one of those songs where you can actually get pretty cool results out of a fairly straightforward song. It's harder to play than you want it to be. The More We Get Together is a new song I put together last year or late in 2019, and so I haven't played it that many times. I'm not sure what's exactly in it, and so we'll explore The More We Get Together. Trumpet Voluntary is an old church. It's not really a church song. It's sort of a military thing. Most of you will not know it right off the bat, but a few of you may have heard it either in ceremonies or once in a while in a wedding. People use Trumpet Voluntary. It's actually a beautiful tune and lots to study on that one. So a good one. And then, of course, another week on YMCA. So, hopefully, you guys are having wonderful time with guitar. I love it. I love it. It's really, really challenging, and to play it at this high level, yeah, there's always going to be better players than us, right? Whatever. Who cares? Go get them, Tiger. We're working at our level, and we're working on what ways to get all of our toolbox in place so that we can play beautifully. We're trying to play where we don't annoy our family. That's it. And often my wife will come and say, "Hey, come and play some music for me for a while," and I do, and that feels really good. That feels like, yep, I have arrived. Okay, whether I go to a coffee shop or Red Rocks or a stadium show somewhere down the road, not necessarily a priority for me. But if I keep playing, I might be able to, right? So, Evelyn says that was beautiful. Thank you again. Have a wonderful weekend. To you as well, Evelyn. Hopefully everything's going beautifully down where you are, and hopefully you guys are all staying safe. It's crazy out there, so be good and be safe, and just put in 30 minutes, a half hour, 30 minutes, 45 hour a day. Obviously, just keep working on it. It does come together. I'm a much better player now than I used to be, and it's just following the directions and working until I get the darn song under my hand. And I have a handful of songs that I can really play. The rest of them are just helping me teach those tools to myself and talk my fingers into cooperating and all that. Vic, sounds great for next week. At the all new time. Yeah, please remember we're 30 minutes later than we are now for the guitar. So we've been coming in at 2:30 here, 2:35 because I've been running late, right? 2:30 here. I will be logging in in plenty of time to have you set up and ready to go. So 3 o'clock will be the on air time, and 3:05 is when I'm going to start these lessons. And we will not be going out beyond 45 minutes. So whatever we get done in 45 minutes, that's what we're going to do starting next week. So just know, 30 minutes later, adjust your calendar a little bit. Tell your margarita maker to wait 30 minutes before getting that together for you, and also let other people know that in your networks that we're doing this. I am doing this primarily so that I can get my sheet music together so that I can publish it over on Amazon when I get it all cleaned up and nice in the way I want it. And so for me, it's super helpful for that you guys show up. Again, it's all free except for level 4, right? I asked you to pay me $10 for those level 4 arrangements, and it's mostly so I know who's working on level 4, and mostly so I know who I need to really dial in on and make sure you're getting what you need. The level 1, 2, and 3, everything's free. Everything is um, hopefully built around getting you to where you are able to play everything in the world. And so once you're playing level 3 successfully, you are actually done with guitar. You really can play anything. And then it's just a matter of finding the sheet music for the stuff you want. And there's lots out there. That's the nice part about guitar. It's different than ukulele, where there's no good sheet music out there. The guitar, there's a ton of good sheet music out there. A lot of times it's written a little bit too hard because it's written by guys who are doing, they say, here's how I'm doing it, right? And so sometimes that isn't necessarily pedagogically correct, but there's plenty of it for you to sort through. You're welcome, Nancy. I'm glad you're here. Vic, Evelyn, Nancy, and whoever else is hanging out with us up here in the widget. Thank you for being here. And I will see all of you on Monday. We'll just keep it going. We're gonna become great together. So have a great weekend. Stay safe. Ending the stream. Be good.